Okay, we're back at it, our local sports talk show. And tonight, that's some good friends on, man. This is easy. So let's start. We're going to talk golf, all things golf. Golf for the boys is a fall sport. Do they have girls in golf?
They do. It's in spring. Yep.
Do they?
Spring. Yes.
How long they had it?
Quite a long time now. We don't have a team at UE, but we've had some girls play on our team in the fall, but they can go and play for another district.
Right. Okay. Because I remember when my kids were in school, there was a gal at Norwich, a good friend of my daughter's, who played on the boys' team.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about you guys? Play those red tees, or you guys?
Yeah.
I will not go there. We won't go there. All right. So Matt Morley, head coach, UE Tigers, good friend of mine. I can help Matt coach. Let's talk other sports first.
Yeah.
Right. So give us your background, where you come from, some of the things you did growing. I know you're a UE guy. I remember seeing you when you were in high school. My wife taught you.
Yeah.
Taught you CCD at Good Counsel. So fill us in on some Matt Morley trivia.
Roots are here. Bleed orange. I'm not Syracuse, but Tiger.
We got to work on that other part.
Yeah, and maybe coming around a little bit. But graduated 2000 from UE. Went played at St. John Fisher College basketball. Did a little bit of grad assistant coaching there. Played overseas a little bit basketball. And I came back to my roots. Coached girls varsity basketball, boys modified JV varsity basketball with you, of course, one of my mentors. And then, I had twins. My wife and I, Sarah, we had twin boys, and I kind of had to make a decision whether to stick with golf or both golf and basketball. And so for me, kind of my heart right now in my life lies with golf. So
life changes when you have kids, and then when you have two at a time.
Yeah.
And your wife is busy too. What is she involved with?
Yeah, she's a principal at Johnny F. Snap.
Oh, what's she really?
She was a phys ed teacher for a while. She was out in Sydney, and then she was at George F. Johnson, and now she's at Johnny F. Snap.
So and she coached too, right?
She did coach volleyball. Yep, varsity volleyball at UE, and she was at Forks for a little bit. So
and she's originally from where?
Scotland.
Scotland. I saw some pictures of you over there. That's cool. The boys loved it, didn't they?
Yeah, I went to the British Open Championship.
Oh, well, that's that accident. You were there for the British Open.
Yes.
So that's lessons. So when you guys get married, you got to work on the wife to do some things that's family, but has a leaning towards what you want to do. It's a good move. That's a good move.
It was about 20 minutes.
I didn't teach you any of that. Let me tell you. I got to teach you that. So, did you play golf in high school and basketball? What were your sports?
I missed that part. Yeah, I played golf in high school. Yep, and I played my senior year of college at St. John Fisher.
Nice.
Kind of after my basketball.
Now, what course did you guys play with?
So, a bunch of different courses. Cobblestone was our home course. We practiced at Monroe, some of the other ones in the area, around the court.
There's some unbelievable courses up there, and right there, especially in Pittsburgh.
Definitely golf town.
Right.
Got to travel a little bit. So, yeah, it was fun.
All right. So, tell us what's involved with coaching high school golf, because a lot of people don't know. I don't really 100% understand. Like, what can you do? What can't you do? Talk a little bit about what the coach can do in golf in high school.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a misunderstood position. Everybody thinks that you coach golf.
And just right around the cart.
It's the best gig in the world. I mean, it is the best gig in the world. Don't get me wrong. But, it's time consuming. It's a lot of psychology. As far as matches go, we can talk to the kids from when they hole out on the hole to the next tee box. And that's it. We can't give advice like a caddy would do in the fairway.
So wait a second. So I finish, I'm going to enjoy it. I finish 6. I go over to the 7 tee box. Can you or can you not give me distance clubs on the tee itself?
I can. So, you hold out from that last hole 6. You walk into the tee box. I can talk to you as much as I want in between to when you tee off on 7. So, like yesterday, it was 152. Yep, 7. Dante had a pitching wedge, 152 to about 8.
Say that again.
Yeah, exactly. 152 pitching wedge. These kids can hit the ball.
Yeah.
And to about 8 feet. And I took all the credit.
There you go. As you should.
Yeah.
As you should. We'll get to that.
It's all about the
we'll get to these guys.
It's no different than any other sport. You're trying to develop players, and then when game day comes, it's on your hands a little bit,
So, but you can't really just stay on the 7th tee, have them come to the 7th tee and say, okay, hey, listen, Dylan, there's a little wind, use this club. You can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I can. So we tend to hang out at certain holes, just given, because there's three groups that go out in varsity match. You have six players, and so six players from the other team. So you have three groups
And
and
three twosomes.
three twosomes from us with twosomes from us. They're
Okay.
foursomes, yeah. So they're
Gotcha.
foursomes, and so sometimes I'll stay on a tee box, but just like any other sport, knowing your players, you can sort of tell body language out there. You can tell who sort of needs you to put their arm on your shoulder, or who you need to stay away from. And so you kind of learn that as you go. I try to not stay in one place, so I bop around, and if somebody needs me, you can sort of tell. But other guys don't want to be talked to, so it's just it's kind of just a managing people thing.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember I talked to Rob Kroyak, and he talked about that. And they used to play at the old IBM Homestead.
Yeah.
And he talked about the par threes, right? The two of them, you got the crow's nest, and the other one, which is 6 or 5.
Yeah.
And he said that's where he said he was effective.
Yeah.
So he really couldn't do much else in other places. So talking about getting to know your players, what are some of the things that you do to get to know you guys?
Well, it's a season, a year-round thing. I mean, you know that. So I've had these guys in class. Some of them I have Dante in class right now. We
Poor
do.
kid.
Yeah, poor kid. Try to steer him in the right direction most of the time. But let's see. Like this year during the season, we went to Chucksters on Friday. That was kind of a team bonding thing. Get to know the guys a little bit outside it. We've gone bowling in the past. We've had team dinners. But it's golf is a relatively short season. We're done October 11th. So we do a lot in the spring. In the summer, I run the TCGA junior program, so I try to get these guys involved in that as much as possible. So it's it's an individual sport, which makes it unique, but you obviously have a team aspect. So you have that to sort of overcome, unlike other sports.
Okay, so where you can't help it, can these guys, let's say these guys are paired up, right? I know it's a big thing in Ryder Cup, like the pairings and who's with who.
Yeah.
Do you put a lot of thought and effort into okay, listen, Dante's hitting the ball well, this guy's struggling a little bit, I'm going to make these two guys play together. They'll kind of, can they coach each other when they're playing together?
Yeah, they can, absolutely. They read putts for each other. They were doing that yesterday. Sometimes I'll ask for their input, who do you like playing with? Because sometimes it's tough to tell. Other times I'll look at personalities and say, this guy's kind of a little fiery, this guy's a little more calm. I think it just depends a lot. We'll switch up the rotation a lot throughout the year, but other years we've had kind of the same groups for the whole year because we've played well. So it's a matter. It's similar to the Ryder Cup. You want to have guys that balance out personalities, but also we like to have their input too. Some guys will say, "Yeah, I definitely don't want to play with this guy."
Yeah, so like if Dylan takes Dante's girlfriend, right? That's probably not a good pairing. Right?
Yeah. You have your. Pulse of the team.
You might want to know that ahead of time. You might want to know that before they tee off.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So when you were a player, right, and now you're a coach, what are some of the things you look back on and say, geez, these are some things that I'm going to try to impart on these guys that I think would have helped me or did help me, and that kind of thing?
It's a great question. I mean, I've come to coach golf because I feel like number one, I love the game. I could be around it 24/7.
You can walk this course,
right? And with basketball, I think I got a little burnt out with it. So for me, it was kind of like a calling thing. Like I just said, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I love doing it all year round. So I just think I forget your question that you asked me, but
okay, let me help you. Right?
Yeah.
See, you think I get nervous? Yeah. So when you were a player, what were some of the things that you want to make sure that you impart to these guys that made a difference for you, that will make a difference?
I think with golf, it's the nerves. I remember being in high school matches and you almost feel paralyzed in the tee box, right? Everything counts. What you're doing matters. And so the experience is key. What I didn't do in high school is I was playing basketball all the time. I didn't get enough practice under pressure. So we stress that all the time. You have to play in tournaments. There's no substitute for playing when it matters. Going out with your buddies and.
So that's the TCGA that you're talking about.
Yeah, and these guys playing. He plays in AJGA events, CNY. There's all sorts of tournaments all over New York State and nationwide. That you just can't substitute that experience. So when they get to a high school match, it's really not a big deal. Whereas for me, it was paralyzing, right? So I wanted to.
Yeah.
That's one of the things, and then just learning from coaches that I've had and what I.
Who are some of your mentors? Who are some guys
Well,
that helped you? Well, and, you know.
No, I learned a ton from you. Coach Bradley was my coach in high school for golf. Just his work ethic was second to none. You know, Coach Bradley.
Okay.
He is,
Still, to this day,
he
7
is
o'clock.
machine.
We're going 7 o'clock Sundays. Like, you're going out with
Yeah, he is unbelievable. So just his love for it and his work ethic and stuff like that. Obviously, took that. I had a coach in college whose name was Bob Sims. He's still the golf coach at St. John Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
He coaches RJ Juditas, who's up there now.
Yeah, RJ.
Cal Mahalik is up there right now.
Yeah, that's right.
So he was a fiery coach, very, psychologically, had going to warfare with him every day. So a little bit of that. I'm not like that, but, golf psychology, it's everything. Competitive golf is psychological. So, taking stuff from him. And then, my biggest coaching mentor was probably my college basketball coach, Coach Rob Cornicker from St. John Fisher.
Sure.
Legend. There are things that you can translate from basketball to golf, life lessons, which he taught me. But there's some things you can't. But and then obviously my parents were huge influences on me as far as just sports, loving sports, and being around sports.
Take me through what practice is like for golf for you guys.
Yeah, it depends on the day. And that goes back to your question of like golf coaching, right? Like you can do as much or as little as you want.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I've learned to change over the years. Some days we'll have a qualifying round. So these guys want to play for a position on the team. They want to get in the top 6. So
how many guys typically are on the team, high school team?
So we have 15.
15
It's tough to take much more than that.
6 play competitive.
6 play on the varsity. We have JV matches, which is 6, 7 through 12.
Oh, so 15 total.
15 total.
So 12 of them are going to be in a match.
12 of them are being a match.
Okay.
And, so, we could have a competitive thing like that, like we did today. So that'll determine their position on the team. Other days we'll play 3 holes. We'll go to the chipping and putting, the putting green. We'll have a competition. We'll have a challenge that they have to finish with. Mm-hmm. Saturday mornings we usually just do the putting green. We'll set up. I have a bunch of like training aids where we'll do station work and. Mm-hmm. Really golf matches are won on the putting green. So, we were just working with Mike Dool today. We have a modified team this year, which is new. So we had 15 other kids from that team on the putting green with him. And, just playing games and trying to keep it fun, but yet competitive, just like any other sport. Mm-hmm. So it just depends on the day. But, yeah, you're mixing up drills and you're mixing up competitive stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what are some of the courses that you play in the area? Your home course is Enjoy.
Correct, yep. Tomorrow we play Vestal there at Hiawatha. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Binghamton is at Ely Park. Main Endwell is at Endwell Greens, as well as JC. Then you get Lee goes out at Pheasant Hill. All the schools, Norwich is at Kansawakta, Jenny Gansett, Shenango Forks, State Park, Shenango Valley. Ithaca plays Robert Trent Jones. You have Corning. Yeah, it's a great course. Played there this year.
And Corning and Elmira play where?
Corning's at Corning Country Club, and Elmira is at Mark Twain.
Okay.
Course says is at Willow Creek. So we play a lot of great courses.
Wow.
These kids are really lucky.
So when they get into place on these tournaments, right, these local tournaments, especially you said TCGA, they're going to play on courses they're playing competitively already, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. The TCGA schedule rotates every year, which courses we go to. But, yeah, they'll play a lot of the same ones that we play during the year. Okay. Our medalist tournament, which is the state tournament in the spring, is at Mark Twain, where Dante got 13th last year in that. So they have to qualify in the fall to get into that state tournament in the spring.
State tournament's in the spring?
Yes.
Okay. So the season goes, you said October 11th. That's your last.
Yeah, that's a stack championship.
That's a stack championship. Yeah. Okay. So is it divisions like in the other sports or no?
Yeah. So we have 4 divisions. They've changed it a lot.
I know. They keep changing all the time. This
I was just looking at this today. That's why it's fresh in my memory. You have the West, the West schools. Us, we're in the Metro. And then you have the Central and the East.
Okay. Metro is you guys, Emmy, Vestal, Binghamton? Yep. JC.
Got it. That's it. Yep. You got it.
JC's in, right?
JC is in it. Yep. And WeGo used to be last year. Now they're not.
They're in the West.
They're in the East, actually, or the Central. Excuse me. Yeah, it's confusing. I know.
Does anybody have a map? Like that's West. Like
I know.
they're West.
It makes
It's like like the New York Mets playing in the AL West.
Right.
They're on the East Coast.
I know.
So all right. So do you have a lot of crossovers like in basketball? You play everybody in your division. You do that too.
So we play everybody in our division, home and home.
Okay.
Then we play the West once. Right?
Okay.
So either Corning will come here this year, and last year we went there.
All right.
Type of thing. We don't play anybody in the Central or the East unless we set up a non-league match. So we played Norwich this year. They came to us.
Okay. So when you guys get done, Metro and the West will have a playoff, and then the other side, East and Central, have a playoff, and the winners meet for the stack, or no?
So it's a little confusing in the stack championship. So the winners of each 4 divisions get a berth. Now in golf, all that means is you can bring 6 people to play for the stack championship. Right, so all the winners, and then there's 2 wild cards. You have 1 wild card from the West and Metro.
Okay, so there's 8 teams total.
6. And you only
Six.
have 1 wild card from the Central and the East.
Okay.
So 6 teams can compete for the stack championship. Other people can bring, 4 down to 1 golfer for the individual championship. So it's a little different.
So a lot of people on the golf course.
A lot of people on the golf course, yeah.
And days are getting shorter.
Days are getting shorter, so they get off school for stacks and sections. Yeah,
That's tough.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, in a stack competition, right? If you guys win the Metro, and let's say Elmira wins the West, and who knows, Norwich or Seton or CV, whatever they win that. So those are the teams that have 6 people competing.
Correct.
Then everybody else is like you said,
just competing individually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So everything kind of leads up to that. So do you guys talk like beginning of the year? What are some of the things that you set for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, we have goals, but I speak more in golf about process goals. This year has been, these guys are going to laugh because I've said it so many times, it's a year of expectations for us, right? And like in any sport, expectations are good because that means that people think you're going to do well, but it's also can get in the way of what you're going to do. Like the golf ball, and these guys are going to laugh. The golf ball does not know or care what you did in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't care what you think you're going to do in the future. All it knows is what you're going to do on that swing. So we try to say, go through each shot, pick your target, go through your pre-shot routine, hit it, do it again until you run out of holes. And really, those are our goals. I mean, obviously, we want to win as much as we can. Stack sectionals. Mm-hmm. The D'Annunzio, which we won this year, which is the opening tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
But if you do those other things, the rest will take care of itself. It's cliche stuff, like everybody says, but we try to, not let those expectations get in the way of us playing our best golf.
So you have to coach varsity and JV?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have an assistant?
We do.
Coaches?
Yeah. So we're really lucky, and other coaches from other schools, I think they're a little jealous, but they make fun of me a little bit at the same time. And I did this in basketball. I love having lots of coaches around. Mm-hmm. I do. And so we had 4 or 5 coaches this year, 5 coaches that are with us. And it just makes practice, especially with golf, that much easier. Mm-hmm. You can work with 3 or 4 guys instead of having to work with the whole team, which can be overwhelming. So, yeah, I've got a lot of great assistants. I have a modified coach now, which is great. Okay. So, yeah.
What about like the mechanics? Let's talk swing mechanic. What if somebody you see like, geez, I'm getting everything fade. All of a sudden they have a fade. Normally they're playing like a draw, and they want to work on some of those. Is that something that you're able to sit down and say, all right, let's go through some of your arcs and swings? And,
Dante's probably the guy to ask for that. No, like if you've ever seen me swing, it's unorthodox. That was home taught.
That's okay.
Home taught. And so I try to save that stuff for the professionals. Mike Dool is that. Enjoy. He works with us a lot. He'll come down to our practice. So if guys need swing help, he's the guy to go to.
So he'll be like at a practice and help you?
Yeah, yep. He'll come. He was there today. Exactly.
That's great. Yeah.
Putting, chipping, those are the fundamental stuff. I can easily teach those. When you're talking about swing, stance, alignment, posture, grip, those are the things I can focus on, and I'm comfortable teaching. When you talk about swing path, and I can do some drills to help guys out that are slicing, but I'm really not qualified and comfortable doing that. So like any other sport, you have your things that you sort of pair off, and so.
But for someone sitting here listening, like it's a different experience because like I'm a weekend golfer. I'll play every now and then, and you're right. It's a baseball swing. You just grip it, Not a lot to it. I've never taken a couple lessons in my life out of almost embarrassment, but anyway. So I'm just not technical in that. So all right, so talk a little bit about your two guys. Tell me a little bit. First of all, Dante Jr., Dylan Senior. All right, so let's start with the junior. Talk a little bit about Dante.
Okay, so he's been with us in 7th grade.
7th grade.
Yeah, and Dylan as well. 7th grade, 8th. So we had a picture on our Facebook page. These guys were just tiny. Right?
As big as a bag.
It was. People would say like, "Are you guys going to feed that team?" And so now we have 6 seniors. Dante's a junior. Like now we're, this is that team, and so they've had a ton of experience under pressure. And both of them have pretty much done everything I've asked. Dante plays year round. I mean, it's a sport. He has like the it factor when it comes to a golfer. From the point he was in 7th grade, I would stick him in a match, and you're kind of nervous giving guys who haven't played in matches tips. And I remember him sitting up. I can't remember if this was 7th or 8th grade. He's on the 18th tee at Hiawatha with the water everywhere, and it's a close match. And Vestal had kicked our butts for years. I don't think we had beat him in a long time. And I knew it was like if we could get this group in, if we could get Dante, So I'm like, here's your target, like get it safe, right? And he just is like smiling at me. He's like, it was just nothing. And I knew like kind of there, like this guy's got it, right? And he just striked it down the middle, and I think he shot like 37 or 38 that day as a 7th or 8th grader. I can't remember exactly what year it was, but that was kind of it. And he just has took it. He loves the game so much. I've played with him in a tournament. I've been lucky enough to do that, and he's on the 16th tee box and just said he's making arrangements to play more. He just can't get enough. So combine those two things, the love and just the want to get better. So he's in a great position this year. He's just, like I told you before, he's 4 under on the year this year. And Dylan's the same way. I mean, he's been with us for a long time. He's kind of been, that guy who has great swing, would come in with some low numbers sometimes, but I would always have like a bad hole here or there. And over the years, we've got rid of that. So the last couple of years, he's come in with some great scores because he's figured out how to manage his game a little bit more. Super smart kid. And that might get in the way of his golf game a little bit. He overthinks it a little bit sometimes, which we can all relate to, right? But been a leader this year, senior. We have 6 seniors, and he's one of them that's got us in a good position so far. So.
Okay, senior, let's start. Fill us in, man. So what got you playing golf?
I don't know. I saw a flyer one day, 7th grade, decided I want to try out. Really never touched the club before.
Really?
Got caught 7th grade year.
Oh, that's tough, isn't it?
Might have cried on the 18th green. But put in work, but over the next year, came back in the 8th grade and made the team. And then ever since then, I just been grinding.
That's awesome. Now, I know the feeling of getting cut. I remember getting cut for baseball at the same time. So, Dante, what about you? What got you into golf?
Oh, there was a golf camp at River Run, the golf course. I don't know exactly what it was.
River Run. That's down in Ocean City?
No,
it's where's that?
I don't know.
River Run too. It's like out.
Oh, River Run's out. Yeah, it's out. No,
Yeah.
it's on Route 11.
Yes,
it's right down the street.
They
Yeah,
closed
they just
it
closed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there?
Yeah, me and a bunch of my friends went, and I was just like, I like this a lot. It was just fun.
How old were you?
I don't know, maybe 10.
All right. So you got the bug early.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. You watch a lot of golf?
Here and there.
Do you watch a lot of golf?
Yeah.
So who's your guy?
Used to be a big Ricky Fowler guy, but he hasn't been there too
I know
much
this
now.
guy's
So,
answer to the question.
yeah. Jordan Spieth is up there for me, but
Yeah,
I
he
know
took
that's
that
his
one.
answer.
Yeah.
That you?
Since day one.
Jordan?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Big fan.
Texas guy over there. Okay. All right. So you tried out, you got cut, you came back the next year you played, right? Talk about your progression from what you saw as an 8th grader now as a senior. What's the difference?
I really think, just being more mature about my game, really not so much thinking through every shot, but just focusing on that shot. and being able to hit more shots now really helped my game out and stuff. Yeah.
What's the hardest thing you got that you have to deal with for you?
I think thinking too much, getting in my head, especially after a bad shot or a bad hole, which I can do a lot. But just being able to come back after that and put it all away and just think about the next shot.
So that delete button, you're a little slow on hitting the delete, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody does that. What about you, Dante?
Well, what was your question? Forgot.
Taking after your coach, man. All
I
right.
was thinking about coach.
What have you seen in your progression from 7th grade
Oh,
to now
yeah,
being a junior?
It was definitely the progression was a lot, which was good, and it came quick.
Mhm.
But it was definitely just a grind, and that helped me so much.
You feel more pressure now?
Yeah, I feel I feel like when I go out, I gotta play good, which is kind of tough, but sometimes I get it done, sometimes I don't.
Who were some of the guys ahead of you that you looked to, like from when you started as 7th grade? You had to have some juniors and seniors.
Cal,
Cal and RJ?
yeah, 100%.
Okay. What about their game that you like?
Well, RJ just me and RJ is weird. Like when we play with each other, it's always neck to neck. So I kind of just learned from him.
So you like just that kind of competitive flow?
He always hit it far. I remember playing with him and Cal at Enjoy for the first time. I had my little clubs and they were just crushing me.
Mhm.
And I was like, dang, I want to be like
I think
that.
you learned a little psychology from RJ too. Just how to, because he's intimidating. He probably doesn't know it, but he's intimidating to other players. I think you learned that from RJ.
What's the toughest shot you got to face? You got to. Let's say you got a barrier in front of you. You got to either slice it around or you got to hook it around. What are some of the toughest shots that you can see?
I think the hook's pretty easy, but being at Enjoy with all the trees, you got to be able to hit a lot of different shots. The little low car on a tree is pretty tough, but having everything in your bag is pretty helpful.
What do you see?
I'd say the opposite, the low draw.
Low draw.
Yeah, I can cut the ball. That's my thing. But drawing's pretty tough.
So you got an obstacle and you got to get it around it.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm definitely getting better at it because I'm starting to actually draw the ball now.
Okay.
But it's pretty tough to do that for me.
What's some of the toughest courses you play around here?
Not a big Hiawatha guy. You got to play there tomorrow, so
Don't tell me that.
just been going through my head. But
So you just said you get in your head. Now you're going to get out of it. You'll be
Yeah.
fine tomorrow.
That's
But
right.
what is it? What are some of the holes that or things that you don't like about it?
I don't know. I haven't played Hiawatha in a while, but I don't know. Just it being a links course, all the fescue. I'm not a big fescue guy, but and Enjoy too. All the trees got to be pretty straight there.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, not too difficult.
What about you?
And
And most
it's
tough.
not that long, but the lies and everything are just like this.
Mhm.
It's just tough.
You can be in the middle of the fairway and your ball's
Yeah.
in there.
You'll be like this, and you're like, okay, this ball is gonna draw. And it goes straight. And you're like, what just happened?
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty tough. I think it's pretty tough.
Okay. Sand check. Here's your choices: sand, heavy rough, okay, or deadpan, and you got 50 yards in. What do you like?
I'll probably take the sand.
Take the sand.
Interesting.
What about you?
I'm gonna take the sand because if we take the rough, then it's gonna roll out. It's a little bit tough to
It's up to
judge
control,
it.
right?
Yeah, but from the sand, it's a little bit tougher to hit it, but if you hit it right, it's gonna stop. Yeah, it'd be pretty good.
All right. Great. All right. Let's have a little fun now.
Mm.
What's your favorite food? See that? See how that was pressure. Food.
Brown
Come on,
beer,
man.
that's
Italian
a lot of
is easy.
pressure.
Just like food. Let's talk food.
I'm a big steak guy.
All right. What's your favorite steakhouse?
McCoy's pretty good. Around here.
Your kid is pretty good.
McCoy's.
So what do you get? Some steak you get.
Greek tenderloin, mashed potatoes, whole golf team knows. It's pretty good.
So you had no problem there. You can roll it. I gotta ask them what kind of salad dressing. They probably got all that. What's your favorite?
Gnocchi with sauce on the side.
Gnocchi. All right. With sauce on the side.
Yes.
I'm not sure that's really good. All right. Okay. Here's the toughest question. Toughest question of the day. I'm gonna start with Dante. Roma's or Badalini, bro?
It's easy for me.
Start
Rome's.
Badalini.
You know the problem is that there's no wrong answer. They're both awesome, right? Let's ask Coach what his is.
Badalini.
Abilene.
That's what they gotta do.
All right. Okay. You have a week vacation, fully paid for. You go anywhere in the world? Where would you go?
Probably Italy.
Give me more
I mean,
details.
I've been there already. I saw the churches and all the stuff you need to see, but I think going back there now, just get to relax, enjoy the food. Good time.
Any particular spot? North, south, east coast, west coast?
All of that.
Oh, all right. Same question.
I'll say like the Bahamas.
Okay.
I like the water there and everything. I think that's pretty cool.
Nice
They
one.
obviously have pretty cool golf courses down there and everything on the island. I like that.
So we got to ask Coach what he's gonna say.
Before I say that, I gotta take back my answer. I gotta say Romas.
Okay.
First of all, I had Corey Roma play for me, and
I worked with
yeah, I go under Romas all the time, so I have to take that answer back. But no, I'm saying Scotland. Go with my wife's roots.
Look
Love
at
being
that.
there, being on the golf course there is like it's like a
Something to
religious
be learned.
experience. Religious experience.
Tell me a little something about Coach that I don't know.
He's pretty funny. I don't know if you know that, but he's pretty funny.
Set
So
no
seriously,
words.
I don't know if you
can
know
see,
that.
you
I don't know if you know that.
Some people I feel like some of the younger kids don't understand it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it takes a little getting used to.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
How about you? Something we don't know about Coach.
Big psychology, sociology guy, gets you listening to all these different podcasts, reading all these books, thinking about all these little things you can do, make your mindset better. So.
Mm-hmm. It's one thing you can control, right? Probably the only thing you really can control, right? Okay, Coach. Tell us something I need to know about these guys.
Ooh, that's a tough one. What do you need to know? Well, you were talking about their golf games before. I mean, I don't know if we're talking.
You can
about
talk anything you want.
They both can hit the ball a long way. I think they were talking about their progression. Like they hit it a ton now, so that is partly what. Interesting. I think golf and life. I think they're kind of opposite. Like Dante, I think what makes him great is he can put stuff out of his mind and just. Like nothing really bothers him. He doesn't really think too much about shots. Whereas I think Dylan's a little bit the opposite, which helps him in school, right? Because he's got like a 99 average or something like that. But sometimes on the golf course, he can be a little indecisive and might, hurt the golf game a little bit. So
Okay. All right. Favorite flavor of ice cream?
Chocolate.
Just plain
Just
chocolate.
plain chocolate.
I'm
not a big- I'm
I've
not-
talked to probably 50, and nobody's ever said just plain anything.
I'm not a big ice cream guy though.
That's
I'm-
a damn shame.
I'm only gonna have like one scoop or
How
something.
about if I said gelato? Did that change?
I'm
Okay.
not a big fan of that.
All right. No, oh man, you're gonna get kicked out of the Italian club.
I got two flavors.
Go ahead.
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Okay.
And my second one might be a hot take, but mint chocolate chip.
All right. Any particular brand you want to share?
my wife's favorite.
I don't know, anything. Ice cream, any ice cream's good.
So Perry's, Hershey's, Turkey Hill, nothing. It's all good. Briars.
All
All right. Okay, Coach.
I'm a twist guy all day.
Which one?
Just twist. Just soft ice cream.
Fudge.
Twist.
Oh, the
Twist.
Oh,
Yeah,
soft.
chocolate.
All right.
Twist, soft ice cream. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like hard ice cream. No.
Okay. All right. Let me give you last question. You are on the 8th hole. Okay. At Enjoy. You got about 230. Got a little breeze in your face. Right. That uphill, elevated green. What's your thought process walking up, and then what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna know like there's definitely like room right to miss because I don't want to be in those bunkers.
Mhm.
And that's my hybrid. My hybrid's probably like 235.
Mhm.
So I'll definitely put a little bit more into that and try to get it there and make sure that if I'm gonna miss it, I leave it out right.
Okay. Because the bunkers are just right of the green,
Just left of the green.
left of the green. There's the bunker on the left. There's
There's
no
a whole
no-
bunch, probably like 5, right?
Yeah.
And they're pretty
Okay.
deadly. Deep.
What's your thought?
Definitely thinking miss right if that's where I'm missing, but it's a little in between clubs for me, so I'm either 4 hybrid or 5 wood. Probably end up going with the 4 hybrid, but depending on the situation, knowing I want to be short, probably don't want to go over the screen, depending on where the pin is, but definitely want to be short there. So
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this, and I told you it was not my last question. Sorry. You just come off you have an awesome shot, right? And you finish with a birdie. Let's just say you finish with a birdie. You get to the ninth hole. This is your last hole in the match, right? What are you thinking when you're on that tee box? Are you thinking how the team is doing? I mean, just give me a little bit of what your thought process is as you approach that before, like as you're walking from 8 to 9. Coach isn't there. You're walking with your teammate.
I just think about the next shot, where I want to land it. You know, think about which way the wind's going. Just, I don't know, getting ready for that next shot.
I like it.
Do you have any idea what's going on in the match at that point? Do these guys know that?
So these guys normally play in the 1-2 spot, so they're last, right? So the 6 through 3 would have already came in. So yeah, once they're coming down, I know pretty much where it stands.
So
But they don't. They won't know. So that's a tough thing, right?
So are you sharing it with these guys?
No, because
Okay.
I think it could go both ways, and why give them information that's not going to help them? Right? It doesn't matter.
Well, I love his answer.
Yeah, the
I
golf ball
love your
doesn't-
answers. Like,
golf
where am
ball
I
doesn't
going to put
know,
it?
right? It doesn't know. It doesn't care.
It's the hardest thing to do is hit the lead.
Yep.
Okay. You're going up to the first tee, right?
Mm-hmm.
You arrive late. Okay.
It's not me.
You can't find something. You know, your favorite glove. You know, whatever. So you're not in your normal rep. What do you do to get yourself in the right mindset as you approach the first tee box?
I'm just gonna try and not think about it. That's really the biggest thing because I'm pretty superstitious.
Mm-hmm.
Like my dad always gives me a coin before I play, and I always put it in my pocket. He's the same ball marker. I always have a tee in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a lot, but that's really what it is. I'll make sure I have something like that.
So man, you're telling that's exactly what I do when I coach pants. You're talking about superstition. If I'm wearing these socks, I'm wearing these socks every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I played with a different pair of golf shoes the other day, and it was just weird. I was like, I don't have my regular golf shoes on. What the heck?
Tell Coach about our superstition, what we wear this year.
Can't change our golf shirts. We got 2 golf shirts at the beginning of the year. First match we won. We said we're not changing until we lose.
We wash them.
That's a tough question.
So parents have got mad at me this year because we've had back-to-back matches and they've insisted that we wear the same shirt. So and we just happen to.
All right. So we know you guys are doing well. Final thoughts as you guys approach this year. Let me start with you, Dante. What's your final thoughts this year?
We'll definitely finish strong, but to take it match by match. But I feel like we're gonna finish strong. You know, you gotta stay in the moment, but that's really the final thought.
Okay.
Obviously keep grinding, but I think the big thing this year has just been how close the team has been, really pushing each other, having a lot of depth, you know, having 10, 11, 12 guys who are all competing for the top 6 and just being able to push each other and get better every day.
Cool. How about yourself, man? Coach?
Yeah, I mean, kind of what they said. I mean, those are pretty mature answers. I mean, we have 3 matches to finish, well, 4 matches, but the next 3 are Vestal, Corning, who's a really tough team, and then Maine Endwell. So, you know, just not just look ahead. You know, we've done well so far, but you know, it really doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just trying to stay in the moment, and you know, we're getting a little attention like this right now, and to try to sort of not let that get to our heads. So keep the team in a good spot and humble, and you know, continue to work hard. So,
All right. Well, wish you guys a lot of luck, man. Thanks for coming.
Coach, thanks
Appreciate
so much.
it.
Son. This is awesome.
Appreciate it. I know your brother. I know your folks too. You,
Thanks.
Coach, you. Shit, I know you. All right.